Welcome to an innovative way of learning Japanese. Through a narrative journey set in Tokyo, you'll encounter the Japanese language in its natural habitat, within the flow of a rich story. Our story follows Miyu, offering insights into her daily life and emotions, all while introducing you to Japanese language and culture as it's genuinely experienced. As you navigate the story, we encourage you to pause and reflect on the Japanese sentences presented. It's about understanding each piece in context, ensuring a deeper grasp of the language. This is not just learning, it's experiencing. Immerse yourself in the narrative and don't hesitate to explore the language at your own pace. Let's dive into the story together. Ready? Let's go.
Tokyo awakens to its customary rhythm, a city that never truly sleeps but merely pauses. Amidst this orchestrated chaos, Miyu starts her day, her solitary routine a stark contrast to the collective bustle of the city. As she steps out of her apartment, the coolness of the early morning greets her, a brief respite before the day's warmth takes hold. The streets of Tokyo are already alive with activity, the sound of hurried footsteps blending with the distant hum of the city.
また一日が始まる。今日も東京は忙しいな。
She muses quietly, observing the familiar scene with a sense of detachment. Her walk to the train station is a quiet affair, punctuated by the occasional greeting from early risers like herself.
おはようございます。宮本さん。
A neighbor calls out as they pass by each other.
おはようございます。
Miyu responds with a polite nod, the exchange brief but warm. Reaching the station, the flow of people heading to their various destinations reminds her of the relentless pace of life in Tokyo. The train station is a hub of activity, people coming and going, each absorbed in their own morning rituals. As she waits for her train, the loudspeaker crackles to life, announcing its imminent arrival.
電車が参ります。ご注意ください。
The conductor's voice echoes through the station, a reminder to be mindful. Miyu boards the train, finding a spot near the door. The carriage is crowded, a microcosm of Tokyo itself. People of all ages, each with their own stories, sharing a momentary journey. As the train moves, Miyu gazes out of the window, watching the cityscape blur past.
電車の中でも一人の時間を大切にしたい。
She thinks, cherishing this moment of solitude amidst the crowd.
宮本さん、今日もお疲れ様です。
A familiar voice says as the train nears her stop. It's a colleague who lives nearby and often takes the same train.
ああ、ありがとうございます。鈴木さんもお疲れ様です。
Miyu replies, the shared acknowledgement of another day's effort offering a small sense of camaraderie. Stepping off the train and making her way to the office, Miyu feels the weight of the day ahead. Yet there's a part of her that finds comfort in the routine, the predictable flow of morning leading into the day. The morning in Tokyo unfolds with a brisk efficiency, carrying me along its currents from the bustling train station to the towering high-rise where I work. Stepping into the lobby, I'm greeted by the familiar, polished echo of the city's corporate heart.
また新しい一日が始まる。
I murmur, feeling the weight and promise of the day ahead. Navigating through the lobby, the thrum of the city's pulse still resonating in my ears, I exchange brief pleasantries with the receptionist.
おはようございます。
I offer, my voice blending into the morning's murmurs of professional greetings.
おはようございます。宮本さん。今日も一日頑張ってくださいね。
She responds, her smile both a welcome and an encouragement. The ascent to my floor is swift, a quiet capsule rising through the building's veins. The doors part to reveal the expanse of the office, a world marked by the soft glow of computer screens and the muted shuffle of early arrivals. Settling into my chair, the quiet of my desk envelops me, a familiar comfort where my professional day truly takes shape. I glance over the workspace, everything in its place, a reflection of order in my otherwise turbulent world.
いつものようにデスクがきちんと整っている。これからコンピューターを立ち上げて今日の仕事を始めよう。
I muse to myself, finding reassurance in the ritual. As the screen flickers to life, a gentle interruption arrives in the form of Tanaka, his presence at my desk a break in the morning solitude.
宮本さん、おはようございます。昨日のミーティング、どうでしたか？
He inquires, a note of genuine interest in his voice.
おはようございます。田中さん、ミーティングはいつも通りでした。ありがとうございます。
I reply, offering a smile that, while small, is sincere. Our exchange is brief, a momentary connection in the workday's ebb and flow. Yet, as he departs, I find a comfort in these interactions, a reminder of the day's shared humanity. The morning unfolds with a focused intensity, the hours marked by the rhythm of tasks and the occasional, distant laughter from colleagues. It's a symphony of productivity, each of us playing our part. As lunchtime nears, Tanaka reappears, his question an echo of countless others.
宮本さん、一緒にランチしませんか？
He offers, hopeful. The invitation, as always, prompts a moment of hesitation. The camaraderie, the shared laughter of a meal together, it's tempting. Yet, the solitude, my constant companion, holds a different allure.
田中さん、誘ってくれてありがとう。でも、今日は少し用事があって。
I gently decline, crafting my words with care.
わかりました。また今度。
He accepts, understanding. As he walks away, I feel the tug of what might have been, a momentary wistfulness for the connection forsaken. Yet, as I prepare to face the cafeteria solitude, I'm reminded of the comfort found in my own company, in the quiet reflection that lunchtime allows.
昼休み、一人での時間も大切にしたい。
I remind myself, standing at the precipice of the afternoon solitude. With that, I gather my things, stepping into the flow of the day, my path a solitary one amidst the crowd, each step a reaffirmation of my quiet independence. Lunchtime arrives, and the office cafeteria becomes a lively hub of activity. Despite the buzz, Miyu seeks out her usual spot, a quiet table at the edge of the room, where she can be alone with her thoughts amidst the crowd.
昼休み、やっぱり一人がいい。静かで考え事ができるから。
She reflects, appreciating the solitude that allows her to ponder quietly. As she eats, she observes her colleagues, their laughter and animated conversations a stark contrast to her quiet.
みんなは楽しそうにしているけど、私はこれでいいのかな。
She wonders, questioning her choice of solitude. Just as Miyu is about to leave, contemplating the comfortable silence she's wrapped around herself, a voice calls out to her, unexpectedly piercing her bubble of solitude.
宮本さん、こんにちは。一緒に食べてもいいですか？
Kano, a colleague she knows but seldom interacts with, stands before her, his lunch tray in hand. Surprised by the sudden company and the gentle disruption of her routine, Miyu hesitates, her instinct to decline warring with a newfound curiosity. After a moment, she nods, shifting to make space at her table.
はい、どうぞ。
She invites, her voice more welcoming than she'd expected. As they eat, The initial awkwardness gives way to a tentative exchange.
宮本さんはいつもここで一人でランチですか？
Kano inquires, breaking the ice. Miyu finds herself opening up more than usual, encouraged by Kano's genuine interest.
ええ、静かな時間を楽しんでいます。でも、たまには変化もいいかもしれませんね。
She responds, admitting her appreciation for quiet moments but acknowledging the potential for change. Their conversation, simple yet meaningful, marks a departure from Miyu's usual lunchtimes. Kano's presence, once an intrusion, now feels like a welcome change, offering a glimpse into the possibilities that lie in opening up and sharing moments with others. As the lunch break comes to an end, Miyu realizes the value in these unexpected interactions.
今日のランチはいつもと違って新鮮だった。もしかしたら、また試してみるのも悪くない。
She muses, contemplating the prospect of inviting change into her routine. As they part ways, Miyu feels a slight shift within herself, a softening of the edges of her solitude, hinting at the beginnings of new connections. As the office quiets down and the glow of my computer screen dims, I pause, gathering my things while the day's events replay in my mind. The city outside begins its transition into evening, casting long shadows through the office windows. I stand for a moment, looking out at the sprawling cityscape, its lights flickering to life one by one.
今日は何かが違った。
I reflect, the weight of the day's unexpected changes settling around me. The conversation with Kano at lunch, a simple yet significant deviation from my norm, lingers in my thoughts. It was a small crack in the facade I've meticulously maintained, a moment that allowed me to peek beyond my self-imposed boundaries.
帰る時間だけど、今日のことを考えると、心が少し軽くなった気がする。
I muse, feeling a lightness I hadn't anticipated. As I prepare to leave, the brief exchange and shared lunch have sparked something within me, a curiosity about the connections I've avoided, the potential friendships that could bloom if only I allowed them the space.
つながりって、こんなにも心を動かすものなんだろうか。
I wonder, pondering the power of connection to stir the depths of our feelings. Stepping into the elevator, I press the button for the ground floor, and as I descend, I find myself more open to the possibilities that lay ahead. The thought of reaching out, of building bridges where I once saw walls, feels less daunting, more like an adventure I might be ready to embark on.
明日はもう少し違う一日になるかもしれない。
I consider with a hint of optimism. As I walk out of the building, the early evening air greets me with its cool embrace. The city, with all its lights and shadows, feels less like a maze and more like a canvas, ready for new stories, new connections. Today's reflections, the gradual softening of my resolve to remain isolated, have marked the beginning of a journey I hadn't planned but now find myself curious to explore. The prospect of what lies ahead, of the connections that might form and the growth that might come from them, fills me with a cautious hope. With a final glance back at the office building, now receding into the twilight, I step forward into the evening, ready for whatever comes next.
If you're eager for the next chapter in our journey, subscribe to be notified. Like this new format? A thumbs up helps our channel grow. We're excited about this storytelling adventure and would love your feedback to make it even better. Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next story. ありがとうございました。